Hey everyone, ready to dive into something really cool. Today we're tackling how to totally nail that Print Studio Supervisor interview.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
We've got our trusty guides here from RoleCatcher, the Career Guide, and the Interview Guide to help us break it all down.
Those guides are gold, seriously. It's like peeking behind the curtain to see what hiring managers are really looking for.
Right, so picture this, you're calling the shots in a cutting-edge print studio, leading the team, juggling projects, and making sure every single print is top-notch. That's the dream, right?
And this role catcher guide, it really stresses that it takes more than just knowing the tech stuff.
Oh, for sure.
It's about leadership, problem solving, being all about that quality.
So true. So before we even get to the interview hot seat, what are some key things someone who wants to be a Print Studio Supervisor should know about the field based on this RoleCatcher Career Guide?
It really emphasizes this blend of creativity and technical skills. You're not just pushing buttons. You're a problem solver, a leader, and you're making sure the quality is top-notch all at the same time.
It's like being a conductor, bringing all the different parts together.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get down to business the interview. RoleCatcher's interview guide gives us 10 common questions, so let's break each one down strategically. Ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, question 1. What experience do you have working in a print studio? Sounds pretty basic, but what are they really trying to figure out?
They want to know if you're comfortable in a print production environment. Have you dealt with crazy deadlines? Do you know what it sounds like when all those machines are going at once? They want to hear about your actual experience in the thick of it.
So it's not just about listing all the machines you've used, it's more about showing what you've learned. What's the best way to answer this one?
Think quality over quantity, for sure. Instead of a laundry list of machines, focus on experiences that show off your skills, like problem solving, teamwork, being able to adapt. Did you fix a technical issue that saved the day? Did you become a master of a new printing technique? Those are the stories they want to hear.
What about people who are earlier in their careers, maybe haven't had that formal Print Studio Supervisor role yet? How can they show they've got what it takes?
Even without the title, you can still highlight times you've shown leadership. Did you mentor a new person? Take charge of a challenging project? Help make things run smoother? Those experiences say a lot.
It's about those transferable skills. Now, let's say you've got this great story about troubleshooting a printer problem with a deadline looming. What kind of follow-up questions might they ask?
Be ready to really break down your problem-solving process. What steps did you take, specifically? How did you communicate with your team and your boss? What did you learn from that whole experience? They're looking for someone who stays calm under pressure and knows how to fix things effectively.
Makes sense. Okay, question 2. How do you ensure quality control in a print studio? That's a big one, right?
Huge! It's the heart of the industry. It's not just about a perfect final product. It's about having that attention to detail every step of the way. They want to know you've got systems in place and a sharp eye.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide really stresses quality control as a major duty for supervisors. How can someone connect their answer back to the real-world demands?
Show them you get the high stakes. You could say, for me, quality is non-negotiable. I'm all about a multi-pronged approach, from super thorough pre-press checks, reviewing those digital files for errors before anything gets printed, to making sure the equipment is calibrated regularly. But it's also about creating a culture of quality within the team where everyone feels responsible for the final product.
That's it. It's about taking responsibility, both individually and as a team. What if the interviewer throws a curveball and asks, tell me about a time you caught a quality issue that everyone else missed? What's a good strategy there?
That's your chance to shine. Have a specific example ready to go. Explain the flaw, how you spotted it, and what you did to fix it. It shows you're meticulous and dedicated to top-notch work.
Okay, here's one that can make or break you. How do you manage a team of print production staff? Time to talk leadership.
Absolutely. This is about more than just the technical skills. It's about how you work with people. Can you motivate, delegate, give constructive feedback, and handle conflicts? They want a glimpse into your leadership style.
I'm seeing a pattern in this RoleCatcher Career Guide. Strong management of personnel resources is essential. How can someone weave that into their answer, even if they haven't officially been in charge before?
Even without the title, you've probably had chances to lead. Did you take the lead on a group project? Help a teammate who was struggling? Focus on those times and the skills you learned communicating, solving problems, inspiring others. Those are valuable.
Okay, time for question 4, and it's a big one. How do you handle a difficult client request or situation? Because let's face it, those tricky clients are out there.
For sure, for sure. This is about staying cool under pressure, managing expectations, and finding solutions. They want to see you can communicate effectively and negotiate like a pro.
The RoleCatcher Interview Guide specifically says not to badmouth past clients. What's a better way to show you can handle things diplomatically?
Focus on understanding and finding common ground. You could say something like, I really believe in active listening and understanding where the client is coming from, even when it's tough. Then I clearly explain what we can do and what our limitations are. Then we work together to find a solution that works for everyone.
That's a great way to show you care about client satisfaction without throwing your team or your standards under the bus.
Yes, exactly. It's about finding that balance where everyone feels heard and respected.
So far, we've tackled questions about experience, quality control, leadership, and clients. Now let's get a bit more technical with question 5. How do you stay up to date with the latest printing technology and techniques? This one feels like it's testing your passion and dedication.
It totally is. The printing industry is always changing, so if you're not learning, you're falling behind. They're looking for someone who's not just keeping up, but actively trying to grow. It's so true. You can't just coast in this field. They're looking for that hunger for knowledge.
So instead of just rattling off industry magazines, how can someone really show they're taking that proactive approach, staying ahead of the game?
It's about showing you're not just reading about new tech, you're getting your hands dirty. Did you go to a workshop on 3D printing? Are you playing around with new software in your free time? Those are the things that really stand out.
It's all about being a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say someone's nailing their answer about going to a sustainable printing conference. What's a follow-up question an interviewer might throw out there?
They might ask how you've used that new knowledge or what excites you about the future of sustainable printing. It's about showing that you're not just taking in information, you're actually putting it to use.
I love that. Don't just be a sponge, build something.
Yeah.
Okay, question 6. And I know anyone who's ever had a deadline is feeling this one. How do you ensure that print production deadlines are met? Because, no pressure or anything, right?
Right. In the print world, time is money, and missed deadlines can have a ripple effect. This question is all about how organized you are, how you prioritize, and how you handle stress.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide really emphasized time management, right? How can someone really make that skill come alive in their answer?
Don't just say you're organized, show them. Describe your system. Maybe it's project management software, to-do lists, regular team check-ins. You could say, I'm big on clear communication and visuals. I use project management software to track deadlines, see where we're at, and I have quick huddles with my team every day to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah, painting that picture of organized chaos. Now, what if the interviewer digs deeper? They ask, tell me about a time a project went off track. How'd you get it back on schedule?
This is where honesty and a focus on solutions are key. Describe what happened, the challenges, and the steps you took to get things back on track. Did you renegotiate deadlines, shift resources around, work late? Show them you can handle those curveballs.
Love it. Turning those near disasters into wins. Okay, question 7 is getting technical. What experience do you have with large format printing? Now, this could be tricky, especially for someone with less experience. What's your advice?
Be honest. If you don't have much experience, say so. Don't stop there. Let them know you're eager to learn. You could say, my experience is mainly in your area, but I'm really interested in large format printing and I want to build my skills in that area. I've actually started researching specific tech or technique, and I'm confident I can get up to speed quickly.
It's about turning those gaps into opportunities. Love that. What if they want to dig a little deeper, test your knowledge, even without direct experience? What might they ask about large format?
They might ask about the unique challenges of large format, like making sure the colors are consistent across bigger surfaces or the logistics of just handling those huge materials. It's about seeing if you can think critically about potential problems even without hands-on experience.
It's all about connecting the dots. Okay, question 8, the juggling act every supervisor knows. How do you manage multiple print projects simultaneously? Talk about pressure.
It comes with the territory. This is where you show off those prioritizing, delegating, staying organized skills. They want to know you can handle the heat.
RoleCatcher's Interview Guide said to give concrete examples here. So how can someone paint that picture of themselves as, like, the ultimate project juggling pro?
Share a story that highlights your process. Maybe you use a color-coded system, a super detailed spreadsheet, a killer project management app. The point is to show them you have a system and it works.
Man, I'm feeling more organized just hearing that. What if they want to see how you handle conflicts? They might ask, tell me about a time two projects had deadlines that were like on a collision course. How did you decide what to prioritize? What's the best way to handle that?
Be transparent and stay calm. Walk them through your thought process. Did you think about which client was more urgent, how complex each project was, what resources you had available? It shows you can make tough decisions under pressure.
Like a boss. Okay, question 9, and it's a biggie. How do you ensure that print projects are completed within budget? Because nobody wants to be over budget, right?
Definitely not. This goes beyond just tracking expenses. It shows you understand the financial side of things. They want to see you can manage resources well, negotiate smart, and get creative to keep costs down without sacrificing quality.
It's like you're the financial guardian. So how can you show you're not just watching the bottom line, but you're finding ways to get the most bang for the buck?
Think beyond "I'll track expenses." Talk about proactive things like negotiating bulk discounts, finding alternative materials that might be more cost-effective, or looking into different printing solutions that are easier on the budget but still deliver that quality.
Resourceful and savvy, love it. What's a follow-up question they might ask to really test your financial thinking?
They might give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say a client wants to add something at the last minute that really impacts the cost. How would you deal with that? They're seeing how you handle tough conversations about money while still trying to find a solution.
Walking that tightrope between creative vision and the budget, right? Okay, last question from RoleCatcher's list, and it's technical. What experience do you have with color management in print production? Super important when color accuracy is everything, right?
100%. This is where you really show your technical skills. They want to know you understand color reproduction inside and out, from the beginning to the final print.
It's not just about knowing the difference between RGB and CMYK. It's about understanding how color looks different across different mediums. How can you demonstrate that deep knowledge?
Talk about color management principles, your experience with calibration tools like spectrophotometers, which measure color accuracy, and your ability to fix color issues. For example, you could say, I'm really picky about color management, so I always start by calibrating the monitors and printers to make sure they're all in sync. I'm also comfortable creating ICC profiles. Those are like instructions for managing color to get accurate color across different devices.
That's a mouthful, but it shows you know your stuff. What if they want to see those problem-solving skills in action? They might say, tell me about a time you had a big color difference between a proof and the final print. How did you figure out what went wrong and fix it? How would you recommend tackling that one?
Time to put on your detective hat. Detail the steps you took. Did you think it was a problem with the files themselves? The printer calibration? The paper? Walking them through that process shows off your technical skills and how you solve problems.
All right, we just tackled 10 tough interview questions for aspiring Print Studio supervisors. We talked about what they really mean, how to answer them strategically, and even how to handle those curveball follow-up questions. But before we wrap up this part, I want to mention something cool that RoleCatcher offers. Can you tell us a bit about their AI-powered tools and how they can help candidates really tailor their responses?
For sure. What's really neat about RoleCatcher's AI is that it can look at tons of data, like job descriptions and industry trends, and figure out the keywords and phrases that really resonate with specific employers.
Like having a personal career coach.
Exactly. You can put in your resume, cover letter, even practice interview answers, and their AI will give you feedback on everything, making sure you're using the right keywords, that your writing is clear and concise.
That is cool. Like a secret weapon. And it ties in perfectly with what we've been talking about, being strategic, prepared, and putting your best foot forward. But we're not done yet. In the final part, we'll dive into those career stages outlined in the RoleCatcher Career Guide and give you some final tips for leaving a lasting impression. It's amazing how tech is changing the job hunting game. RoleCatcher's AI sounds like it's really leveling the playing field. But let's switch gears for a sec and talk about the career path itself. RoleCatcher's Career Guide lays out a pretty clear path for someone who wants to become a Print Studio Supervisor. What are some of those key steps?
They break it down into 3 main stages, starting with entry-level Print Studio Operator. That's where you're building your foundation, learning how everything works, mastering the equipment, and really developing an eye for detail. It's like your apprenticeship in the printing world.
Getting those basic skills down, right? So then what?
Then you move up to Print Studio Technician. That's where your technical expertise really shines. You're not just operating the machines, you're troubleshooting, calibrating, maybe even training newer operators.
Leveling up. And I bet all that experience is super valuable when you finally reach that senior Print Studio operator level.
Absolutely. By then, you've got the technical knowledge, the problem-solving skills, and a deep understanding of the entire workflow. You're ready to lead a team, manage projects from A to Z, and make sure everything runs smoothly.
And isn't that what this whole deep dive has been about? Giving those aspiring supervisors what they need to ace that interview and start this awesome career. But it's not just about getting the job right. It's about doing great in the role and staying ahead of the curve.
So true. The RoleCatcher Guide actually highlights some really interesting industry trends that anyone who wants to be a supervisor should know about. Like, digital printing is changing everything, right? It's opening up so many possibilities for customization and personalization.
Wow, it's like the printing industry is having its own digital revolution. Supervisors need to be adaptable, tech-savvy, always ready to embrace those new innovations.
Definitely. Those days of relying only on those giant offset presses are fading away. Today, you need to be comfortable with digital workflows, online platforms, using data to personalize things.
Blending the old with the new, that's amazing. We've covered so much today, from those tough interview questions to career paths, even looking at what's next for the industry. Any final words of wisdom for someone about to walk into that Print Studio Supervisor interview?
Don't forget, the interview goes both ways. They're checking you out, but you're also checking them out. Don't be shy about asking good questions about their company culture, how they innovate, what kind of opportunities there are for you to grow professionally. It shows you're really thinking about the bigger picture.
Love it. It's about finding the right fit, not just any fit. It goes back to that passion and excitement. They want someone who's fired up about this industry, ready to learn and bring their own unique talents to the table.
Exactly. So go in there, be confident, be yourself, and let your passion show.
And remember, preparation is key. With the right resources, the right attitude, and that go-getter energy, you've got this. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Print Studio Supervision. We hope you feel empowered, informed, and ready to absolutely crush that interview.